Hey everybody, I hope you're having a fantastic day. If you are new here, my name is Melissa and I'm a second grade teacher from Michigan. It has been so long since I have sat down to talk to you guys. I am so bummed that I haven't been able to make a new video in a while because I truly genuinely enjoy filming and editing and all that kind of stuff. I really like it. So it has been such a bummer that I have not been able to do that lately. But I have been so busy, which I'm sure most of you can relate. Believe it or not, it is 11:45 on Sunday evening. I don't know what else I would possibly be doing at 11:45 on a Sunday evening when I have to work the next day, but this seemed like the idea for me, you know? We are actually starting remote learning tomorrow in my district. My district has not been remote this entire time. We have been full-time in person since day one of school, and we made it about 12 weeks into the school year. But unfortunately, with the COVID cases rising in my local community, it is just not the safest option for us right now. And I am grateful that we are going virtual just because I do want my students and their families and myself and my family to be safe, and I feel like, you know, staying home and just keeping distance from people for a while will hopefully help calm things down a little bit again. For right now, the plan is that my district is only going to be remote for about a week and a half. So we had Thanksgiving break and now we're going remote. So it's gonna be about 2 weeks that we are kind of quarantined to an extent and separated. I am really hoping that I get some really good vlog footage this week and take you guys along my virtual week of teaching. I know a lot of you have been doing this for a while, and maybe some of you have been doing virtual school. If you are a student or if you are a parent, you have been trying to help your kids with virtual school, and it is just a lot. I spent almost all day today trying to figure out how to best do things so that it was super easy for my parents to navigate, also just for me to know what's coming next and to be really prepared, and also just for my kids because I teach 7 and 8-year-olds. My students are amazing. I'm so proud of them. They know how to do so many techie things that I'm just so proud. So they're gonna be fine, they're gonna do great, and I know that, but it is definitely a challenge. I'm going to be teaching from my classroom in the mornings, and then I'm actually going to be coming home at lunchtime because we just have asynchronous learning and small groups in the afternoon, and that's something that I feel like I could teach just fine at home. I have everything I need, and I live really close to my school. It's less than a 10-minute drive. So I am planning on going to school in the mornings and doing my live instruction then, and then coming home for asynchronous time. So basically what our schedule is going to be is we have a 2.5-hour long Google Meet in the morning. Now that is kind of crazy to me. That's a long time. All of our students are going to be doing that throughout my district, and so I made sure to build in some breaks, which was also encouraged. And then we have some time, we have a lunchtime and a recess block. I'm trying to make it recess and encourage the kids to go outside. And then there's a chunk of time where they are just doing independent work while I have some planning time. I also have some office hours, and then like I said, we're going to be pulling reading groups, and that is the part of the day that I'm because the kids are going so many different places with multiple different teachers. There's a lot of different Google links, so we'll figure it out. It'll be totally fine. I feel like I've been rambling for so long. I'm looking at my phone timer and it says 7 minutes already. I'm just feeling really overwhelmed, but I'm also feeling really good. I made my husband sit down and look at all my Google slides, and I showed him oh my gosh, look, when I click here on this picture, it takes me to a Jamboard, and my kids are gonna have a story in front of them while I have the story projected on the Jamboard. So when I highlight, they can highlight on their paper, and I make him listen to this kind of stuff all the time. Bless his heart, you know, teacher spouses deserve so many awards. As you can tell, I am very wired. I am not really sleepy because I messed up my sleep schedule, but I do need to get ready for bed soon, and then I will hopefully talk to you guys either in the morning or the afternoon. I don't really know. Tomorrow's gonna be a crazy day, so I'll see you when I see ya. So it's now Monday at 10:30 basically, and I just did not really have time to do any like really good solid clips of my day today. So I decided I'm gonna sit down and chat with you guys about how the day went and then show you what I am doing for my reading groups while we are virtual. Today, first of all, I am so proud of my kids. Like, they are little still, you know, like second graders are pretty little, and they did so well. Like, they all managed their schedules, and I gave them this like super big spreadsheet, but I also sent individual schedules to the families, and the families were so awesome, so helpful. They were there for support if the kids needed them. They just like were hands off at the same time. Like, it was really good. I didn't have like I had the perfect balance, I guess you could say, of like helping, but also like letting the kids do their thing and like trusting that like we have a system and we know what we're doing. And so it was a really, really good day. In the afternoon, like I said, I'm working from home. We're doing small reading groups. Now I have 4 reading groups that meet for 15 minutes. And I also have some office hours and another reading intervention and some other things going on. It's a really nice time and I really enjoyed it. I didn't know how it would go with like kids coming in and out of our Google Meet link, and like I had a couple kids come when they weren't supposed to, and they either left or some of them just sat and listened to the other group read the story, and it was totally fine. So they were really respectful. They did awesome. I'm super proud of them. So basically what I am doing during these small group times is I sent all of my kids home with a reading A to Z book. I found a book about sled dogs, and this is one of their multi-leveled readers. So they had a level H and a level K and a level N. So all my kids have the same book, but they're at different levels. The way that I approach these is kind of different for each group. So like my lower level group is gonna have a lot more scaffolding. We go through together, we read the vocabulary words, and then normally for our first read through, what we did today was I just read aloud the story and I had them fill in words that I left out. So like drop reading. So my camera just cut me off. But anyways, with my lower level kiddos, I just scaffold it more, like I said, go through and do some drop reading for day 1. With my on level kids, we did popcorn reading. So they took turns reading different pages, and yeah, that was really fun. Again, we stopped, we talked about what was going on, the problem in the story, and then the map and all that kind of stuff. And then for my above level kids, we also did popcorn reading, but we did not even come, well, I shouldn't say we didn't come close, but we got about halfway through the book because it is a lot longer and has more text. As I go throughout the week later, I'm planning on doing some vocabulary activities, some virtual graphic organizers, probably through Jamboard, and then why do you want so much attention? You are literally so cute, but ruining my vlog, okay? Okay, I love you the most, but like, can we just wait for like 2 more seconds? That's what I did. I will try to show you guys more in my classroom tomorrow and more of the packets and stuff that I sent home with the kids, and just talk more about the transition. And like, I'm really hoping things go as well as they did today, because like I said, I'm so proud of my kids, and like, I feel so relieved now and like ready to like keep going, and I just feel good about it. So fingers crossed that tomorrow is an equally awesome day. Here is the aftermath of our morning together. I have my double setup creative book bin tripod for my computer, got my 2 screens and my document camera. I've been doing a lot of shuffling between screens. So yeah, I am finished with my morning for Tuesday. It went pretty well this morning. It was definitely a little more like difficult for kids to find materials because, you know, yesterday they had the neatly packed bags that I put everything in order, and they were all good. And then today it was like they took care of their stuff yesterday, so some of them couldn't find certain things or like had to run around looking for them, and eventually everybody found what they needed to, but it definitely took longer. So I really told them like, hey, be careful, put them back where they need to go. And so hopefully that will be better tomorrow. And even if it's not, like, it's not the end of the world, it is what it is. And so yeah, we're just taking it as we come, and it still was a really good morning. I am on lunchtime right now. I am going to pack up and head home for the second part of the day to do my groups, and then at home I will probably show you guys some more of like how I'm doing our daily work. Hi guys, so it is Wednesday now and it is only like 6:30 this time, so I'm actually like recording this at a good time. I was so tired after work today. Like I said earlier when I was at school, things were a little bit more hectic today just because like I had the bags all organized that I sent home with the kids. Everything was kind of in order, and just today, you know, they're kids, things get switched around, and that's fine. We made it through. But the second I was done, I literally ran into my room and threw on a sweatshirt and leggings and then one of my cute little headbands from Sewing Sherry on Etsy, and had this little hair going on. So I've been like that since about 3:30 today, so I've been very cozy. But I brought home my packets to show you guys what I sent home with my kids. This was in addition to leveled readers, scissors, markers, or not markers, scissors, crayons, a highlighter, some rulers, that kind of stuff, whiteboards, expo markers, so on and so forth. They all also got a little baggie of books as well. So they got all of that stuff, and then these are just our packets. So I chose to organize my packets by the subject. So every morning, the kids know that we have our morning work packet, and so they come on the Google Meet and they get our morning work packet, and it's just like some spiral review stuff that is from Teachers Pay Teachers. I do not know the story, I don't see it on here, but if I find it I will link it down below. It's really good spiral review with like math and ELA. So they start with that, we work independently for a little bit, and then we check it over together. Then we do kind of like our morning meeting. I call it a squishy circle in my classroom, and I tell the kids we're still doing our squishy circle even though we can't sit by each other. And so we just talk about like a question or good things, and then it is time for math. So they have some of their math book pages. I use Math Expressions, so we get student editions, and I just ripped out the pages and sent them home. So I don't have that to show you just because all the kids took their pages. Then they have a reading packet, so all that's in here is review stories. So what I do is the kids have the paper copy, and I do as well, but I've actually been taking screenshots of the online passages and putting them side by side in a Jamboard, and then taking the highlighter tool and coloring over it, and then using the text box to type. So my kids are working on it on paper while I share my screen and I'm working on it on Jamboard, and that's been working really, really well. So we do a passage, we also do some whiteboard activities with building words. Today we reviewed contractions, we do some sight word practice and some multi-syllabic word practice. So we do that kind of phonics stuff as well, but that's more like on whiteboards and stuff. And then we do have a writing packet. I did not grab that one because there's not really anything exciting to show you, just some organizers and lined paper in there. So then the kids have 3 packets of pages that they do independently after. Now normally I would not assign these worksheets, like I just would not. We would do task cards and reading groups and fun stuff like that, but that's just obviously not an option in the same way right now. So they're doing more paper pencil stuff because I really wanted them to not sit in front of a screen doing all of their independent work. So they are doing some worksheets, and it's just, it is what it is. So if you're doing that, just know you're not alone, it's okay. So they have a math homework packet and a math remembering. These are just like Math Expressions has remembering pages. Normally we do these in class together, but I'm having them do them at home as well as math homework. So they have 2 pages of math every day. And then I also have, these are the ones I especially would not do. I actually do the math homework and remembering. Those are good worksheets, but they just come from my curriculum and they're not terrible by any means. They're like review. So I just have them practice some phonics patterns and like we're doing nouns lately. So there's noun practice and all that kind of stuff. So I have them do about 3 pages of this a day, which sounds like a lot, but like 2 of the pages probably only take 5 minutes a piece. They're very fast. So those are their must-dos that they do, and they do them right in the packet. So at the end of every Google Meet, we go through and we circle all of the pages that they need to do with a highlighter. So that way, when they're by themselves in the afternoon, they already wrote down the pages. And then I also have all their must-dos posted on Google Classroom so that if they forget or if their families are like just making sure they're done with everything, there's a list. So I put that right under my day of the week so that way they can click that and open it up, and they have 2 places that they can look for it. So that is what I've done. It's been working pretty well so far. I think my kids are getting most of their like must-do stuff done. So I've found that the paper pencil stuff is good. I have office hours every day, and it's so cute because my kids will just pop on and like talk to me during my office hours. So that's probably my favorite part of the day. I really like that because we just get to chat and like, you know, as teachers, we don't always get to experience like our kids in like the full sense of like being just complete kids and talking about like whatever they like and stuff. So I do like that I have a little more time in my day to do that because I do have those office hours, and so far nobody has really had any like techie questions. So I've just been able to chat with the kids who decide to show up. So that's been really, really fun. But yeah, day 2 went pretty well. Definitely not as smooth as day 1, like as a whole, but also some parts went smoother than day 1. You know, so it's a give and take, but it's been really good so far. And yeah. Good morning, friends. Happy Friday. I am in my bathroom, clearly. But anyways, I just finished getting ready for the day. It's about 8:15, and now I am going to head off to school. We have to be there at 8:30, and then I have about 30 minutes of prep time until our meeting starts. So, happy Friday. Made it through my first week of virtual. Woo! I'm ready for a good day. Got a lot of sleep last night, so that's good. All right, my friends, welcome back. Once you have your whiteboards ready, you can just hold up your markers so that way I know that you are ready to go. Okay, good, good, good. All right, perfect. So this week we have been learning about 2-dimensional shapes. So you have been learning about some different kinds of shapes and how many sides they have and how many corners or angles they have. So we're gonna practice drawing a couple today before we start our math book pages. So the first shape I would like you to draw is I would like you to draw a triangle. A triangle. And once you have drawn your triangle, I want you to hold up your whiteboard to the camera so that I can see what you have done. Perfect. Look at all those beautiful triangles. Okay, so what we know about a triangle is that there are 3 sides and 3 angles or corners. Now, all of those angles are not always going to be right angles. We talked about sometimes there might be a right angle, but sometimes there's not, and that is okay. So the next shape I would like you to draw is going to be a pentagon. A pentagon. Now, if you need a hint remembering how many sides a pentagon has, you can look at me and I'm going to show you a pentagon. When you've drawn a pentagon, I want you to hold it up to the screen, please. Okay, so right now it is our break time. The kids just have a couple minutes to get their stuff for reading. I usually try to give them a big break kind of towards the middle of our day just so they have stuff to do. So we just worked on some estimating and measuring with triangles and drawing 2-dimensional shapes. And now what we are doing next is we are going to be getting our reading packet. So we're going to be reading the story together. The kids grab a highlighter and then we answer some text questions in the story. Now this is what they have at home. but then I actually project mine onto a Jamboard and then use the highlight feature so that I can be doing that on the screen while they are doing it in their books. All right, so I am done with my morning now. It is 11:35. I went a few minutes over on my meeting, which is typical. I try to keep it like right at 11:30, but I always have a couple kids stick around to ask questions, which is totally fine. So just one thing that we did today on our meeting that was a little bit different than other days is we did a directed drawing because it is one of my students' birthdays, and since we could not make a birthday book for her like we normally do in class, we are hoping to do that next Wednesday when we are supposed to return. If not, I'm gonna find a way to do like a virtual birthday book, but we decided to do a directed drawing, and I did cross out her name just because, you know, privacy reasons, but we all did a little birthday cake, so that was really fun for the end of the day. I have to fill out some paperwork and then run it over to administration really quick, and then I am headed home for lunch and for my small groups. So I stayed up way too late all of Thanksgiving break, and now I'm not tired. And it's like midnight now that I've been rambling for so long. I don't want to go to bed. I'm going to be very tired tomorrow. It makes me feel like I look a lot cuter than I really do right now, you know? Like, this is what I would look like if I didn't have it. And this is what I look like with it. Isn't that amazing? Like, best $30 I've spent in a while.